So let's take you to the proof.
Answer my question.
Don't think people exist.
Answer my question.
So can you just
answer my question?
Don't think people exist.
Answer my question.
No. You don't. So
look, then you don't have a valid argument. You're dismissed. There's nothing you have.
No,
I presented an argument in favor of utilitarianism. You've got nothing against it. So the argument's over. Gone. You lose.
Interested. It sounds like
you concede on fucking part one.
If people don't exist, then why the fuck should we increase their utility? If people don't exist, then
I don't care about increasing people's utility. I care about increasing utility.
Utilitarianism is false. So thank you for
wrong.
Thank you for
this is just a normal. This is just another pivot because you don't answer the earlier question. There's no reason utilitarianism entails personal identity. I can say I want to maximize utility without saying I want to maximize utility for people. What are you doing? Why do you never stop talking?
You gave me that nugget, Sinthe. So you told me that you don't think people exist. If it's true that people don't exist, then why should we be maximizing the utility?
We shouldn't be maximizing people's utility. We should be maximizing utility. I don't care if it's people's or non-people's. I don't care if it's animal utility.
You don't care if it's people or not people.
Yep, I don't care if it's animal utility. Now answer my question.
Sentient beings exist.
You don't have an argument here.
Do sentient beings exist? I want to know what Sinthe thinks exists.
Yes.
Oh, it's a sentient being.
Now answer my question.
So you were just
answer my question. What are you doing?
You're just taking issue then with the.
I feel like I'm talking to like the world's dumbest fucking retard, and throughout the entirety of this discussion, you can't give it a single argument.
I don't care.
Is there a single thing that you've said, a single proposition that's came out of your mouth that you think you can defend? Is there one? Like a single fucking thing you got an argument for?
Yeah, egoism.
Egoism. What's the argument? What's the non-question begging argument in favor of egoism?
So the only proof capable of being given is that an object is visible, is that people actually see it. The only proof that sound is audible is that people hear it, and so of other sources of our experience. Okay, P1.
What inference is used to entail your conclusion?
What?
What?
So P1.
What inference rule is used to entail your conclusion? Retard. Here are some examples. Modus ponens, modus tollens, disjunctive introduction, disjunctive syllogism, hypothetical syllogism. Go look up the Wikipedia list of rules of inference and tell me which one of those is linked to your fucking conclusion.
What does that matter? I'm giving you the
because you're saying you're giving a valid argument. There's nothing inconsistent with any of these premises and just saying no reasons, evidence, or proof exist at all. Look, if I said that all kings of France are bald, would that be true? Or would that be false?
Probably false.
No, it'd be true. There are no kings of France.
What?
It's called a vacuous truth, you fucking idiot. Look, this is like Logic 101. If it's the case that you have no reasons, then you could say the only possible reason is a reason that doesn't exist.
What the fuck does that mean? There's no kings of France, but it's true that they are all bald.
Yes, the total set of kings of France is fucking empty. There's not a single counterexample with a king of France who has hair because there are none. Current kings of France do not exist. There is no current king of France. They're all bald.
Right, so, okay, that makes sense. Fine, fair enough.
Yes, very fair enough. This is a normal fucking, this is Logic 101. If you have a universal quantifier over an empty set, then it's the case that you have vacuous truths. You can say things like, all reasons are about unicorns, because I think there are no reasons. So all three of the premises that you gave are consistent with there just being no reasons, evidence, or proof. It's consistent with there being no personal identity. There's no entailment from your fucking premises to the conclusion that you got to.
So the only proof capable of being given...
You're doing shit. Why did you do that?
Because you granted these arguments to me, and we got to the conclusion.
I granted them for the sake of the argument, to see if it's the case that you have an argument that's non-question begging invalid. It's obviously not valid.
We are arguing, so it's not valid.
Very clearly it's not valid.
So?
Because it doesn't entail egoism, because it doesn't entail that there are reasons, proof, or evidence.
It doesn't entail that as egoism. So if we grant that those premises...
It doesn't entail personal identity, it doesn't entail reasons, proof, or evidence, it doesn't entail any of that.
If we granted those premises, and the conclusions of the premises that we granted, is that egoism is true?
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. There's no valid inference where it links to what we're currently talking about. Repeating that you think it is entailed doesn't fucking matter to me. I've explained to you why it's not entailed. Do you understand the explanation?
You failed to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I failed to explain to you because I'm not qualified to teach special ed. It's not my fault that you can't understand this, though. I don't think there's a way to explain it to you. This was a simple argument, a simple issue with an argument that you can't fucking grasp. Very simply, all three of these premises can be granted while not granting there is any proof, evidence, or reasons. Do you understand, yes or no? Do you understand, yes or no? Do you understand, yes or no?
You asked me.
Do you understand, yes or no?
You asked me who I need to infer.
Do you understand? Yes or no?
No.
No, you don't understand that those are all consistent with there being no reasons, proof, or evidence. Which one of those contradicts there being no reasons, proof, or evidence?
What? Anyway,
What?
You said to me.
Did you say 4? There's no premise 4. You have 1, 2, and 3.
So you said to me that. So I asked you if you existed or not. You said no, right? Is that true?
I don't believe in personal identity. I just told you this. I'm an eliminativist on it. I don't think there's any coherent account of personal identity that has a reference. Now, please answer my question, which is which of the premises contradicts that? You do not have the memory capacity to track the entire conversation. Answer the question directly.
A separation of experiences.
Answer my question.
So I apologize. I didn't think I needed to prove to you that there's a separation of experiences. So
you obviously would need to for your argument to be valid.
What would it mean?
Your argument's a non sequitur if the argument doesn't prove that.
It means that we're a collective hive mind, right? So is that your position? We're a collective hive mind of all sentient beings?
No.
No? Oh, so there's separate experiences. We're not hive minds. So
yes, there are separate experiences.
So therefore, personal.
Look, you understand? I could be committed to. Look, you're retarded. That doesn't conclude with personal identity. Nope, that's another invalid argument you're throwing out.
That's an invalid argument.
Yes, personal identity doesn't just require. Look, I can say that me right now and me in 10 minutes from now are separate experiences. That wouldn't mean that personal identity is true. In fact, it means there's no shared personal identity.
That I gave to you.
Therefore, you can't just throw a therefore into a fucking non sequitur and pretend the argument's valid. You fucking retard. You double-digit IQ brain damaged monkey fuck. You fucking British retard. Try your best to track this. Which of the? I am mad at you. I think you're retarded. I think the fact that I have to talk to people like you and share a planet with you is something worth being mad about. This isn't 2016 and you mad bro's not going to dig you out of this. You look like a fucking retard right now. Me being mad at you looks fucking justified. You're doing terribly. You're getting embarrassed on every fucking point. You didn't know what a fucking inference rule was, and for some reason you're in a goddamn philosophy debate.
You just conceded everything to me.
So I conceded shit to you.
There's no. You conceded that.
You've conceded that you've lost the argument.
There's no such thing as.
Look, you conceded you've lost the argument.
Therefore, the negation is true. They're separate experiences, right?
You've conceded the argument. It's okay. It's okay, Thought. It's over. You already conceded.
Conceded in what? I've conceded.
You conceded that you're wrong. You conceded utilitarianism is true.
Everything to me. You've conceded.
Actually, you conceded everything to me. You conceded that you're wrong and that I'm right and that you suck dick. And that you're British and gay. Look, you just conceded you're British and gay.
Therefore, the negation is true.
See, we can both pretend the other person randomly conceded shit. It's not going to be a valid argument, you fucking retard.
Experiences. You sound incredibly frustrated.
Yes, I'm glad that you're identifying the tone, autist. Yes, people are mad at you. You're right. When people make loud noises at you, it's because they're unpleased by your action. Now try your fucking best, autist, to come up with a valid argument.
Only my pleasure matters to me because I'm an egoist. I don't care a shit about yours. Now,
spit out the argument.
The thing is this. You conceded to me.
Spit out the argument.
I'm giving it now.
Do you understand what you're supposed to be giving an argument for right now? You're supposed to be telling me how those premises entail that there is proof, there is evidence, or that there are reasons.
Have you ever let a man finish in your life?
Bro, you've been letting men finish in your ass this entire discussion. It's crazy. You're getting your asshole filled to the fucking brim with cum, and there's nothing that I can do about it. I'm just sitting here watching. I feel like I'm being cucked. Every man who's ever fucked you in the ass. You're filled to the brim with cum. You've got no argument. Just fucking try your best to give the conclusion.
And you can't deny it because you've.
You're right. I can't deny that you are filled with cum. You're right. I can't deny that. No, answer my question. Give the argument.
Separate experiences, therefore personal identity, therefore the premises that I gave you.
No, not therefore personal identity. There's no entailment there. Look, pro tip: if you want personal identity to show up in your conclusion, to show up in a fucking premise, retard.
False.
No, not false.
Big false.
You think that you can have personal identity in your conclusion without having it a premise and have a valid argument?
So. If there's no such thing as personal identity, that means there's no such thing as...
Answer my question. 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 What is wrong with your brain that makes you do this?
You denied that, my dear friend.
What is wrong with your brain?
Therefore, the negation...
Did you get dropped on your head as a baby?
Separate. Negation is the...
Answer my question.
What question?
The one that I've asked you 20 fucking times before. I want you very, very succinctly. Look, I want you to tell me which of those three premises. Look, I'm going to ask you yes or no questions. I'm going to ask you 3, and hopefully you'll fucking answer. Does premise 1 contradict with there being no reasons, evidence, or what is wrong with you?
Nothing, I think. I don't think anything's wrong with me.
No, there's something very clearly wrong with your fucking brain. You just asked me what question. I'm telling you the question, and you're talking again. Stop fucking speaking. You have nothing important to ask. You're a low IQ retard who can't tie his fucking shoes out of caretaker. Try your best to answer my question. Premise 1, does that contradict with the claim that there are no reasons, evidence to prove?
Premise 1, does that contradict the claim that there's no reasons, proof, support what?
Yes or no, you fucking retard, that wasn't complicated. Does premise 1 contradict with there being no reasons, proof, or evidence?
Does it contradict that there's no reasons, proof, or evidence? Premise 1. Yeah, of course it does.
How?
Because it literally said, it presupposes it. The only proof capable of being given an object is visible,
if I say the only person who could stop the Holocaust is Spider-Man, do you think that presupposes Spider-Man exists?
You've interrupted me again. I don't listen to interruptions.
Yes or no? You don't listen to shit. You don't listen to a single fucking argument that's not a discussion. You talk for 8 hours. No shit, I'm interrupting you. You haven't shut the fuck up once. If I didn't interrupt you, I'd never speak.
It's presupposed, my dear friend.
No, it isn't, my dear retarded friend. My brain damaged little monkey retard friend.
No, you. So,
Come up with a fucking... Look, do you understand the argument that I just gave you? Is it on your view is now until the Spider-Man exists?
It's presupposed. What?
If I said the only person capable of swinging from webs in New York City was Spider-Man, does that mean that Spider-Man exists?
No.
Cool. So then saying this is the only thing capable of doing this doesn't entail there's anything capable of doing it.
Right, but you said, does it contradict that there's...
Yeah.
There's printed proofs. I said
yeah. So it doesn't... No, you didn't say no. You said yes, it does contradict.
No, it didn't.
Okay, I'll ask you the question again. Does premise 1 contradict... Does premise 1 contradict... Listen to the fucking sentence, retard. It doesn't contradict that there are no reasons, proof, or evidence? It doesn't do that? It doesn't?
No, it does not contradict.
Oh, cool. Does premise 2 do that?
Nope.
Does premise 3 do that?
Nope.
So then there exist possible worlds in which all 3 of these are true, and it's still the case there are no reasons, proof, or evidence?
No, not in those.
Of course there are. If none of the fucking premises contradict. You stupid fuck.
If the premises are true, and it presupposes that evidence.
If the premises can be true while this other claim is true, that means it's possible for them to be true at the same time.
Sinthe, are you asking me to prove to you that evidence is a thing?
No.
Right. So why are you getting mad about this then? So if
I'm asking you to show me that from this, it's entailed that evidence is a thing. From these premises, is it entailed? If it's not, your argument's not valid.
Is it entailed that? So I do need to prove to you then that proof and evidence is a thing.
No, you stupid fuck. If your argument concludes with proof and evidence are a thing, it's not fucking valid if the premises are compatible with its negation. You stupid fuck. You don't need to prove to me that proof and evidence are a thing. I agree that proof, evidence, and reasons are a thing. That's just not entailed by your fucking argument.
When did I say that these premises are compatible with their negation? When did I contradict?
When I asked you premise by premise, and you said each of them didn't contradict.
I didn't, but yeah, I said they don't contradict the fact that...
That makes them compatible, you stupid fuck. What do you think compatible means?
Compatible with the idea that evidence.
Holy shit, I am not qualified to explain this to you. I don't know how to teach special ed. I don't know how to get into your fucking brain. They are compatible if there's no contradiction, because that's what compatible means.
So they contradict the fact that the only proof, if I say the only proof capable of being given, I'm saying a proof is capable of being given. If you're saying, does that contradict the fact that proof cannot be given? The answer is yes.
No, nobody's asking that. Are you retarded? I am asking you, does the claim that there are no reasons, proof, or evidence contradict premise 1? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, it does? You said earlier the answer you gave was no. Is that a yes or a no?
It contradicts that there are no cases of proof, evidence, or reason. It contradicts that.
Earlier, you said it didn't contradict. Do you remember when you said it didn't?
Maybe I misheard you, but it presupposes...
No, it doesn't. I told you why it doesn't presuppose that.
Evidence, reason, and proof.
If I say the only proof capable of experiences is that they are experienced, you think that entails that there is proof?
Yeah.
Okay, if I say the only person capable of swinging from webs in New York is Spider-Man, does that entail that there is Spider-Man?
No.
What's the distinction?
So
you're retarded. So how do you understand that one of those is no? How do you do this in your head? How the fuck do you how do you even begin to understand the reality around you if you're this fucking stupid? So if there's no entailment that Spider-Man exists from that, then saying the only thing capable of doing X is Y doesn't entail that Y exists. It will never do that. Sentences like that don't entail that Y exists. The only person capable of doing X is Spider-Man. Doesn't until Spider-Man exists. The only proof capable of doing X is this type of proof. Doesn't until the proof exists.
Right. So, Sinthe, do I need to prove to you then that proof exists?
No.
So you agree that proof exists. So I don't need
Yes.
to that proof exists.
That's
So
not what you're trying to prove.
With the conversation. Jesus Christ, Sinthe.
No, don't fucking pray. Jesus is going to help you here, dog. What you need to understand is that your argument's not fucking valid if it's consistent that the negation of your conclusion is consistent with all the fucking premises.
Dude, you're upset. Not dude, sorry. You're upset that I'm not giving you evidence that proof exists when we both accept that proof is.
No, I'm not asking you for evidence proof exists. I've never asked you that. You've asked me 3 times, am I asking you that? And every single time I told you no. I'm not asking you that. Nobody gives a fuck about that. I'm telling you your argument's not fucking valid.
So the only proof capable of being given that an object is visible is that it's visible. That people actually see it, rather. Right? So what other proof is there? Sorry, is that even a proof at all? So if I
You retard! This is consistent with there being no proof. Do you understand, yes or no?
If I can see a thing, what would it mean for it to be invisible?
Are you retarded?
If I can see a thing, that's not an answer. If I can see a thing,
I don't need to answer
what would
this.
it mean for it to be invisible?
It's irrelevant.
So if it's visible,
do you understand? You brain damaged little retard. Do you understand? I think that proof does exist.
I'm trying to prove that something is visible.
Do you understand that I think that proof exists? Yes or no?
Yes
Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Answer.
I'm not answering your question because you were interrupting me whilst you were answering.
I don't give a fuck. You don't have a response to the argument. This is insane. How have you not killed yourself? This is wild to me. I'm not telling you to kill yourself. I'm just asking you genuinely, why haven't you?
Mod commander, wait. Okay, so
that's not bannable. What? No. To asking somebody why they haven't is not against the rules. Read the rules. No rule against that. Why haven't you is a question. Not a command. I'm not telling you to do it. Why haven't you?
Wait, one sec. One sec. Wait, mod command. So look, if you're being asked to answer a question and you're not answering the question, then we're just gonna spin our wheels, okay? So Sinthe's asking a question. Are you just gonna refuse to answer the question?
I'm not answering questions. I'm not answering questions if Sinthe is interrupting me whilst I'm answering whilst I'm explaining to her what I mean by proof. Right? So if Sinthe has a problem with P1 that proof is being capably being given.
I didn't say I have a problem with P1. I'm telling you P1 doesn't entail what you think it does.
Sinthe. You told me it was false, Sinthe.
Yes, I do think it's false. That's not what we're currently talking about. We're talking about it doesn't entail it.
Does it entail it?
It does not entail your conclusion from your premises.
Of course it does.
No, it doesn't.
I explained it multiple times.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't done that.
Oh, yes, I have. Oh, yes, I have.
Are you retarded? No way is this man real. No, you haven't. Be somewhat self-aware. You are fucking stupid.
Real, so
be self-aware. Introspect. You are fucking retarded.
You don't think you're real. You don't think you exist.
You are so goddamn stupid. You can invoke a fiction without thinking they exist. I talk about Spider-Man in this argument, and it's not the case I think Spider-Man exists.
So, if I was to say that the only thing capable of swinging from buildings to buildings is Spider-Man, right? You would then turn around and say, well, you haven't proven to me that Spider-Man exists. Fine, fair enough. I'm then asking you, do I need to prove to you that proof is a thing? You said no. Why is this a
fine, fair enough? So your premise does not entail your conclusion?
If you were to then say, prove to me then.
Yes or no?
After these things, the thing that presupposes
yes or no?
Spider-Man exists.
Yes or no?
Yes or no what?
Yes or no? Do your premises entail your fucking conclusion? Yes or no?
Yes.
What the fuck is wrong with your brain? You understand? Look, I'm going to give you an example argument. Here's an example argument. Tell me if you think this is valid. Premise 1, Socrates is a man. Conclusion, Socrates is mortal. Is that a valid argument?
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
Well, men are immortal, aren't they?
That's an extra premise, dummy.
Right, but so what?
Then your argument's not fucking valid. I'm asking you for a valid, non-fucking question-begging argument.
Right, but if I gave you that, if I said premise 1, Socrates is a man, so therefore he's immortal, right? And then you were to object to that, you'd be saying, oh no, we have to add in there.
If you said that's a valid argument, I would object to that being a valid argument. You're right. It's not a valid argument. You have to have another premise, which is if you are a man, then you are mortal.
Right.
Or all men are immortal.
I need to add P0 then. And just say proof is a thing. And then we can move on from there.
Premise one, Jesus is a man. Conclusion, Jesus is mortal. You see the issue now.
Would that double your utils?
I want you to try your best. I want you to try your best to engage with the argument the other side's giving you. Just once in your entire fucking life.
If I say P0, proof is a thing, and then we just carry on as normal, would that please you? Would that give you
I want you to... No, what I want you to understand is your argument's not valid. Do you understand that your argument's not valid?
I don't understand how my argument's not valid.
Then we're stuck on that until you understand.
Well, okay, but you failed.
I don't want to move on to some new argument you have. I want you to understand why this one's not valid. Because your new one still wouldn't be valid. I'm giving you an example of why your argument's not valid, and you're not tracking it. So saying something like, the only thing capable of doing this is Y, doesn't entail that Y exists. It will never entail that Y exists. It doesn't do that. You need a new premise. Do you understand why if your argument doesn't include all of the premises necessary to entail the fucking conclusion, then your argument's not valid?
You still need to link the dots, and so if you accept that, if you accept P0...
Yes or no? Answer!
Okay, I don't need to give you a yes or no.
You do need to give me a yes or no.
P0, if you accept P0, that proof is a thing, let's just move on.
No, we're not moving on unless you understand your argument's not valid. Because your argument's still not valid. Now it's not valid for different reasons. I want you to tell me yes or no, do you understand the argument I just presented?
To move on in any kind of argument, we need to presuppose that proof is a thing. Otherwise, no one's proving anything. We're just saying, I intuit.
That's not a premise of your argument. That's another thing that you think is true. Do you understand the difference?
So I need to. So I do need to prove that proof is a thing.
No.
I'm fucking stuck in the weeds in this, man.
No, you don't need to prove that. You need to prove your argument entails it. You stupid fuck. Do you understand the difference between those two statements?
I need to prove that.
Yes or no? Do you understand the difference between those two statements? I do not want to loop on this again. Yes or no?
I don't need to prove that my argument is
yes or no?
Both agree that proof is a
yes
thing.
Or no?
I think I answered that perfectly. I don't need to give you a yes or no. It don't need to prove that proof is a
yes or no? Do you understand the distinction between these two sentences?
Which two sentences?
Oh my god. The two sentences are, one, it's the case that proof is true, and two, it's the case your argument entails that proof is true. Do you understand the difference?
So one is a case I'm saying proof is true, and one entails that proof is true.
Yes or no? Do you understand the fucking difference?
No, I don't understand the difference.
You don't understand the difference between your argument entails something and something is true. Look, here's an argument. Here's an example argument. Premise one, all rhinoceroses have IQs of 140. John is a rhinoceros. Here's the thing entailed by those two premises. John has an IQ of 140. That's entailed. Is it true that John has an IQ of 140 just because it's entailed by the argument?
It's valid. The argument's valid, though.
Yes or no?
If it's true. You're asking if the argument's valid.
Yes or no?
No, it's not true.
That wasn't what I asked you.
You said yes or no. You said, is it true that John has IQ?
Yes, now you're understanding. So you understand how something can be entailed by an argument, and it cannot be true?
Yeah.
So now you understand the difference between if X is entailed by your argument, and X is true. You understand the difference now?
Yeah.
Okay, you learned. You're capable of it. You can gain more information. You were dead fucking wrong when you said that. But now you know. Now you know the fact. So here's the thing. You think you don't know anything? What do you mean by knowledge?
That's what you tell me.
What do you mean by knowledge?
Justified true belief.
Oh, so you gotta you understand the issue with Gettier cases, right? You know what those are?
Hmm?
How do you deal with Gettier cases?
Gettier cases.
Do you know anything about these topics whatsoever?
Epistemology, to be fair, isn't my strong point.
Nothing is your strong point.
I think beating the fuck out of you is my strong point.
You're losing badly.
No.
Is there a single good argument you think you made this entire discussion?
You're just getting mad about whether...
I am mad at you. You're right. I'm being loud and mean to you. You have made no good argument. You're not winning. You're doing piss fucking poor. Be somewhat self-aware. Name one argument you made that's even remotely decent.
The one I gave earlier.
That one's not valid. The argument you think is good is the one that's not even... It's the valid argument that isn't valid. That was your argument.
So,
it's an invalid one. Your best argument is just a clearly fucking transparently invalid one.
So can we try? Let's have a go at negating it then. So P1 then, the only proof capable of being given that an object is visible is that people actually see it. So is that's not valid then? That's not true.
That's a premise. is not valid or invalid, you fucking retard. Do you know what is validity? What is validity?
Demonstration of truth.
No. What?
Yep.
No. Validity is the conclusions until from the premises. What's the difference? Tell me, what's the difference between validity and soundness?
Soundness is coherent. If an argument's sound, then it's coherent, right?
No. The fucking total opposite.
Total opposite. So if
yes,
sound
validity means that the argument, the conclusions entailed by the premises. That's what validity is. Soundness is when your argument has true premises and is valid.
Oh, so are you claiming there's a false premise then?
No, I'm claiming your argument's invalid.
So what is the problem, if a premise
your argument is invalid.
I sat here very patiently.
I'm not talking about soundness. That's not the claim I'm making. I think it's also unsound because it's not valid.
You try your little eyes out about me not.
You have yet to make a single good argument. You look like a fucking retard to everyone listening. The friends you dragged in here to support you, even in the back of their fucking minds, they understand that you look like a fucking retard to literally everyone universally right now. You knew jack shit about the subject. You've never read a goddamn philosophy textbook in your goddamn life. There's not a single thing that you know about in the subject. You don't even know what validity is, let alone if your argument is that. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Sounds like you're mad.
I am absolutely mad at you. Saying you're mad over and over again is not going to pull you out of the fact. Clearly get embarrassed. I sound mad. You sound shy and embarrassed and submissive.
Listen, this is what you do every debate. So
every debate. I think this is the first time I fucking screamed to somebody like this in like fucking a year. This is crazy. I don't think I've been this fucking annoyed at a retard in like my entire goddamn life.
If my premises are not false, and the conclusion is valid from that,
it is not valid from that. That's what's in dispute.
So if I've given you a false premise, tell me which of these premises are false.
Retard. I don't think it's valid. You retard.
Stop using the R slur.
I'm gonna keep calling you the R slur. I'm gonna call you a whole bunch of fucking slurs.
Ah, bless you, cotton socks. Now, if my premises are true, and you've accepted that they're true, because you don't deny that they are, then
I do deny that they are.
Follows from them.
Your conclusion doesn't do that.
True. You are coping right now, Sinthe. You are pooping right now. I have sat and let you.
I have just made it clear to you several times in a row. Several times in a row. I do not think your argument's valid. I don't think that.
Spineless person.
You're running from me, you fucking retard. What? What have I dodged from you?
You think
what have I dodged from you?
Saying you haven't proven
what have I dodged from you?
That we both agree
what have I dodged from you?
To be true. So
what have I dodged from you? You have nothing. Not a single goddamn thing I've dodged.
If I've given you true premises,
you're just talking forever.
As you've conceded to.
You're just talking forever.
I've given you a true conclusion.
You are just talking forever. You don't have arguments. You have rambling.
So no.
Do you think that I think that your argument's valid?
Suck it up. Complain if you want to.
Answer.
But I've proven my case.
No,
my
you
premises,
haven't.
according to Sinthe, are not false. They are true. So if a conclusion...
No, that's not according to Sinthe.
Egoism being a conclusion.
And
we've gone over personal identity.
Are you serious?
Try to get away from that.
Answer. What are you doing?
You ended up agreeing that collective consciousness is not a thing. Experience is separate.
He's just doing this forever. Is he... There's something genuinely wrong with his brain.
Egoism is true.
Look,
based on what I've said...
For anybody who thinks there's any fucking chance that the reason his brain is malfunctioning is because I've been too mean to him or something, I'm going to try my best to be extremely nice to him right now. I'm going to see if he can crack it either way. Anybody who thinks that there's any fucking chance that pressure is the reason he's cracking, you're about to see.
I've debated children.
Go ahead.
With low functioning autism that gave a better argument than you did.
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that I believe your argument's valid?
You said they were. I said, is any of my premises false? You said no.
So the answer to my question is, you think that I don't think your argument's valid, or that I do think it's valid?
I think you didn't have a problem with the validity of the argument if you say all my premises are true and it's logically coherent. So therefore, I've proven egoism to be true. Utilitarianism.
Answer my question, please.
Utilitarianism and egoism are contradictory.
Please answer my question.
If it's the case that egoism is true,
how long do you need to talk for?
Utilitarianism is false.
How long do you need to do this for?
Done. End of discussion.
Okay, are you done?
Bang.
Are you done?
Fuck you.
Are you done?
I'm perfectly done.
Do you think that I believe your argument's valid? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you think that I believe your argument's valid?
You didn't ask me if I don't care what you believe. You don't know anything.
You just said something about my beliefs.
I asked you, are my premises true or false? You said they're true.
Do you understand what validity is? I told you what it was.
So you said you gave an example of an invalid argument because one of the premises was false. I asked you if any of my premises are false. You said no.
Do you hear what I just said?
Yes,
repeat back to me the words I just said to you.
Therefore,
what did I just say to you?
My argument is not invalid. Therefore,
what did I just say to you?
There's no way you can possibly disagree after making all the concessions that you made to me, Sinthe. After all the concessions that you made to me.
Stop that.
After all the concessions that
what are you doing? How long do you need to talk for?
Argument is true.
Do you notice how little time it takes me to spit out a counter argument and how long it takes you to ramble?
Yeah. Have you noticed how long Das Kapital is?
I would love for you to answer my question.
How, the great critiques of it are like 1 page long. Wow. Shortness of an argument is definitely a truth maker, Sinthe.
I would like you to answer my question.
Which question?
The one I just asked.
I don't take questions if you're interrupting me.
No, you interrupted me. You've been doing that constantly. You talk forever. The only reason that I interrupt you is because I would never get a chance to speak if I didn't. I'm asking you very simply and directly, right? I want you to understand, do you think that I believe that your argument's valid?
I don't fucking care, Sinthe.
You said I was committed to the view, didn't you?
All the proof that I need that my argument is valid, apparently. Right? I don't care if you think my argument's valid. You've accepted that the premises I gave you are true. You've not denied
by the way, there's a poll in chat. Somebody made a poll of who's winning. Right? You should go check that. Right? Just to have like some level of self-awareness.
Arguments are
Nobody thinks you're doing well. Not a single fucking person.
Arguments are popular. Do you not care?
Look, I'm just telling you that if you think you're convincing the audience with this weird shit, it's not working.
I don't care if I'm convinced. My goal here isn't to convince people. My goal here is to beat you the fuck up.
You think you're beating me the fuck up?
Yep.
What do you think? What is beating somebody the fuck up in a conversation? What does that mean?
When you argue against me, right, and then you agree with all my premises, you accept the conclusion, and I've proven my conclusion that you give us true.
Okay. Do you think that I'm committed to that?
The fuck about you.
Look, you just said a thing about my beliefs again.
If you're fans in vegan world, I got no.
You are saying that you beat me up because I've accepted your premises and the validity of your argument. I'm telling you I haven't accepted that. Then you say I don't care what you think. Yes, you do. Your standard for winning this is what I think.
Which of my premises are false?
Is your standard for winning this based on what I think?
Which of my premises are false?
It doesn't matter which of your premises are false. I'm arguing against the validity.
Right, so if my premises are true and they're logically coherent...
I don't agree with the second part of the conjunct. I don't think your argument is consistent. I don't think it's the case that your conclusion is entailed by the premises. I'm telling you your argument's not valid. Do you understand what I'm saying? You understand an argument can be invalid without being a contradiction.
You said consistent, so where is it?
Do you understand an argument can be incoherent and invalid without being contradictory?
Where have I been inconsistent?
There's a conclusion you have, and you're saying it follows from the premises. It doesn't. That's the inconsistency. So if I give you an argument, like, stop, you're interrupting. So if I give you an argument, like, for example, here's an example argument. Premise 1, Sinthe is debating ThoughtBat right now. Conclusion, Sinthe is correct. Is there a contradiction between the conclusion and the premise? Yes or no?
No, and not logically coherent.
Cool. So you understand that an argument can be non-contradictory, but can still be invalid, right?
Yeah. You said it's inconsistent.
Yes. So asking you what's the contradiction when I say your argument's invalid is a stupid question, right?
No, you did. No, you said inconsistent.
It is inconsistent.
That's why I asked you for the contradiction.
Do you understand an argument can be inconsistent without it being the case of contradictions entailed?
No, that's not true.
What do you think inconsistent means?
It means there's a contradiction in there somewhere.
Can you pull out a philosophy textbook that says that's what inconsistent means?
Yeah, I'll just pull one at me.
So here's an example, right? Here's an example of a position which is very obviously inconsistent, but is not contradictory. Let's say that I randomly flip a coin and decide arbitrarily when I'm flipping that coin who to blow the brains out of with a shotgun. That's very obviously inconsistent, because for some people they get the heads, for some people they get tails. Some people die, some people don't. That's an inconsistent position. It's not the case of contradictions entailed. So you can be inconsistent without having any contradiction. Your argument can be invalid without having any contradiction. What you need to show is not just that your premises are true, but also that the argument's valid. Do you understand? Yes or no? Sorry, you interrupted me. I'm not going to answer questions that are interruptions. Answer me.
I thought it was okay, Sinthe, because you've been doing it to me all night. So
I'm being sarcastic. Answer my question.
How was it inconsistent, Sinthe?
Answer my question.
I asked first.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Okay, no, you didn't.
I asked you while you were talking, which you've set the precedent. So.
Yes, I did. That's your argument. Yeah.
Yeah, my argument.
You don't have an argument. You don't have one.
Right. So, at what point then have I made it in my premises, which I've given you, which you said are all true?
No, I didn't say they're all true.
Yes, you did. Because I asked you if any were false. You said no.
I said I would grant them for the sake of the argument. I do think it's the case that some of them are false.
Then I asked you again, like about 10 minutes ago, if you thought any were true or false.
I have made it very clear that I am not talking about the falsity of your premises. That's not what I'm referring to. That's what I told you. You didn't listen. I am not talking about anything related to if your premises are false right now. I'm telling you, you have a bigger problem on your hands, which is that all those premises could be true, and egoism would not be entailed.
Yes, it would. So
no, it wouldn't.
Yes,
you're
it
wrong.
Because if
That's not an argument. Retard saying yaha over and over again after I explain to you why you're wrong is never going to get you out of the It's never going to get you out of the ditch you're in. You are still fucking stuck.
If you hear the word because, Sinthe, it's because the reasoning is on the way. So you have to let it happen.
I'm waiting.
So
what's the reasoning?
So if an ethic is truth, it needs to correspond with reality. Is that? Do we agree with that?
No. I don't use truth.
Is not corresponding with reality.
No, obviously not. I don't believe in correspondence theory of truth. No serious person does.
No serious person does.
It's a joke view. Here's the issue with correspondence theory of truth. Your definition of correspondence theory of truth relies on a notion of truth already. What does it mean to actually be in correspondence with reality? What does it mean for that to be true?
Do we exist in a state of non-existence then, which is the opposite of reality?
No.
So no. So reality exists.
Here are some examples of things which are not about reality but are true. For example, how many horns does a unicorn have, ThoughtBat?
It has one.
Oh, is that in correspondence with reality?
Here we go. So, is it true that unicorns have horns on their head? There's no true definition for a word other than one that successfully encapsulates a speaker's intended meaning by the word. E.g., the proposal that a horse with a horn on its head doesn't correspond with reality. However, the fact that I am referring to a horse with a horn on its head when I say unicorn does correspond to reality.
That doesn't address my question.
So, no, it is not true that unicorns have horns on their head. However, it is true that I'm referring to something that does have a horn on its head.
Sorry, it's not true that unicorns have horns on their head? It's not true that unicorns have horns on their head?
No, because there's no unicorns out there.
So when I asked you, there's no unicorns out there?
It's not a true thing.
So do you know what an analytic truth is?
Yeah, it's when it's definitionally true. It's a tautology.
Do you think that analytic truths can't be true?
Yeah, because there's no true definition.
Analytic truths can't be true. Oh my god. So, by the way, is 2 plus 2, is it true that 2 plus 2 equals 4?
It's a tautology. So
is it true that 2 plus 2 equals 4?
Word. There's no true definition.
I don't need you to ramble, I need you to answer.
Other than one which successfully encapsulates a speaker's intended meaning by the word. Right? So definitions are not objective. We don't discover...
Answer my question.
You intuit king thought that. So there's no true definition for a word. Right? That is the position. That is why analytic truth means nothing to me. Right?
Answer my question.
If you're asking me questions in the middle of my sentences, I'm not going to respond to them. There's no true definition.
Wait, why are you asking questions in the middle of my sentences?
The one which successfully encapsulates.
Wait, why are you still talking? Why are you still talking? Why are you repeating yourself? What are you doing? Do you want this conversation to take as long as possible? I don't care about all this. Who cares? What are you talking about? I don't care.
Are unicorns real? Are they true things? No.
I think that's not what truth works. It's not the case there are true things and false things. There are true statements and false statements. Oh my god. How long do you need to talk for?
Communicating a concept to you.
How long do you need to speak for before you can answer my question?
That's how definitions work.
Is 2 plus 2 equals 4 true?
Yeah.
Wait, but that's not based on reality. It's based on analytic truths.
No, it's not.
2 plus 2 equals 4 is not an analytic truth.
No.
It's not true by definition.
It corresponds. It's mathematics, and mathematics is explanation of reality. It's not analytic.
Oh, it's an explanation, like a language, like a set of definitions.
No, it's not a language.
Math is not a language.
No, it's related to physical concepts.
Really? Okay. What's the relation between? Hold on. What's the relationship between infinity and physical concept?
What are you on about?
What is the relationship between infinity and physical concepts?
I'm not sure.
What are you doing here? Log out. What is the relationship between the square root of -1 and physical concepts?
What do you mean? It's not analytic.
Which word in that sentence confused you?
You're asking me about mathematical epistemology, right? How do we know that 2 plus 2? I know about two things, right? Yeah, we use the word 2 to refer to one and another one.
ThoughtBat. Does it?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, keep rambling.
It's true from
keep
reality,
rambling.
but it follows a pattern at a multiplications of thing.
Keep rambling. Look, does infinity minus infinity equal 0?
What?
Does infinity minus infinity equal 0?
I have no fucking clue. I don't know.
He doesn't even know.
I'm not a mathematician.
Yeah, I can tell. Look, I just want you to understand, there's no valid argument you made here, because the premises are consistent with your conclusion being false. Right? It's not the case that correspondence theory is something you're capable of defending, because you never learned that much about it. Wait, hold on, stop talking. Stop talking. Look, I'm trying my best to give you more space to speak, just so you don't feel like you're not getting listened to. I'd love it if you would listen to my arguments and try your best to respond to them. Because you've responded to 0 of my arguments so far. You've just basically been made fun of for the past hour.
You haven't made a single one.
I have.
Yeah, I have.
I've given you arguments. Here's one argument. Your argument is invalid. I gave you the argument for why it's invalid. The argument for why it's invalid is because none of the premises entail something that would be entailed by egoism. If none of the premises would entail something that would be entailed by egoism, then your premises don't entail egoism.
Yeah, we're going around in circles here, mate. So
I know you don't have a counter argument there.
I'll let the onlookers decide. It's been about an hour and 6 minutes.
Why are you going to run away? You've yet to present a single valid argument.
I'm running away because I've had enough after an hour.
You asked me for that. You begged me to fucking debate you at 3 p.m. today. I made sure to have the time for you. I just want an argument.
I've given you the argument. You just got upset by it.
Look, do you understand that it...
Using Arsler.
Look, yeah, I'm going to keep using the Arsler, retard. So, going through your argument, premise one, show me from... It is the case that the only proof capable of experiences is that they are experienced. Show me from that it's entailed that either experiences exist or that proof exists.
I don't need to because we both agree that experience is a thing.
You would need to because otherwise your argument's not valid.
Otherwise, I need to. So all I need to do then, Sinthe, is just put P0 and say experience is a thing. So
that would mean you have a different argument.
I held your hand to that point.
Do you understand that if you have to add premises for your conclusion to be entailed, then your argument's not true?
I've done everything.
Your argument's not valid.
P0. You can keep saying it until you...
I would like you to understand before we move on to your argument with a new premise that you understand that your argument's not valid, and then we can move on to that.
Proving existence exists. These things are presupposed when it comes to fucking deciding whether an ethics is true, because ethics being true needs to correspond to reality.
Can you please answer that question? Do you understand?
Because you're interrupting me.
What? You've been interrupting constantly. Like, why do you do this cry-bullying shit? I'll be mean to you. I've been loud to you. That's the thing that's exclusive on my end. You haven't been louder. You're interrupting right now. You've constantly interrupted. You're being a victim. You're desperately trying. Yes, you are. You are complaining about interrupting. You're interrupting right now. As you are in the middle of interrupting me to complain about interruption. I would just like it. I would just like one valid argument. Just a valid argument.
The thing is, I'm not going to answer questions because I don't hear them if you ask them whilst I'm talking. That's how
you start your talking in the middle of my question.
That's how sound works.
You start your talking in the middle of my sentences. Like you've always been talking. There's not a single point in this discussion in which you have shut the fuck up for more than 10 seconds. Even right now, you are interrupting. As we are speaking, you are interrupting.
Cry about it. We both do. We both interrupt each other. Get over it.
We have both interrupted each other. That's right. You're not engaging with arguments. I'm engaging with all of yours.
Stop complaining.
If you can't handle interruptions, you shouldn't interrupt. Because you don't hear arguments when you're interrupting. If you aren't able to hear the argument as you're interrupting and also respond to it, don't interrupt. That's not for you. That's for the other people who can do that. In the meantime, I want you to understand, premise one, is it the case that the only proof capable of experiences is that they are experienced? Do you think that entails that proof or experiences exist?
P0. Experience exists. P0.
Answer my question.
Proof is a thing. They are done.
Answer my question.
Done it. I've answered
Answer my question.
That's all I have to do is to help you out.
Answer my question.
I've answered it.
Was your answer a yes or a no?
It was neither. I gave you a sentence.
So is it non-propositional whether or not that's entailed? Is it neither true nor false?
No, it's true because you can.
It's true. Your answer is yes.
True. You can infer true from what I just gave you. So I've given you P1, P0, and P0.5 to help you.
Yeah, those aren't helping you. Truth is a thing. Does not get you there.
So you can stop crying about the fucking argument, about the proof given.
Oh my god. You understand? There has to be some. Look, just embarrassing yourself. This is so sad.
Yeah, it's very sad. I'm experiencing negative 30 utils.
I want you to just understand this one simple point, right? Don't go on to a new argument. Don't move up. Stop talking. Stop. What are you doing? This is a very simple argument. Even you can grasp it. It doesn't matter if truth is a thing. Premise one still doesn't entail that proof is a thing. Truth can be a thing without it being the case that anyone ever has access to.
So fucking what? We presuppose truth when we make truth claims.
That's true. We do presuppose truth. What does that have to do with what I just said?
No, you don't.
I do. What's that have to do with what I just said?
What does what have to do with what I just said?
Are you serious?
I'm very serious.
Oh my god. Look, I'm going to track it back for you. What you should do, listen to my argument, respond to the argument. Premise one. You said that the only proof capable of experiences is that they are experienced. But that's the only proof capable of that. Now, that doesn't entail that they actually are experienced. It just means that's the only proof possible. Do you understand those differences?
I understand that. When I asked you...
Cool. If you understand the difference, then you understand that's not the same claim. It doesn't entail it. You're wrong. You can see. That's it. Look, if you understand the difference, you can see. You're wrong.
There's nothing to concede on because we both...
Nobody is asking you to prove the claim that is entailed. They're asking you to prove that it is entailed. Do you understand the difference?
We both agree that experience is a thing. So stop complaining. Shall we move on with the argument?
No, we're not moving on. Do you understand the issue?
I have no idea what issue you're trying to point out, but I think it's something like UV light.
What? I'm going to ask you again. We're going to see if you remember what I told you. What is validity?
What is validity? Something to do with true premises and logical coherence.
No. Listen to me when I explain it to you this time. I'm going to educate you. I'm going to teach you. I am not qualified to teach you, but I will try my best. I think I can fucking do it. I think you're not too stupid to understand this. Validity is not in regards to the premises being true.
Oh, I see. Right. So all this time you're moaning about my argument being invalid was bullshit.
No, your argument's conclusion does not follow from your premises. Do you understand?
Oh, yes, it does.
That's what's in dispute right now. Do you understand that that's what's in dispute right now?
It's not in dispute that people can experience things.
That is not what's in... Oh my god, how are you doing that?
You agree to it.
This is crazy. You understand that just because something's true doesn't mean that it's entailed?
I mean, just because... So what? We both agree that experience is a thing.
So what? So what we're currently talking about is, did you present a valid argument?
Yes.
Yeah, that's your view. You presented a valid argument. I'm going to ask you again. What is a valid argument?
It's what you said earlier.
What did I say earlier?
No, I've forgotten.
He forgot what a valid argument is. There is no planet, no plane of existence on which the friends you brought in to watch this debate, to watch you lose this, will ever be able to convince themselves deep down in their heart of hearts that you even did okay. Not that you didn't do, not that like, oh yeah, you lost, but you'll win some, lose. No, you did fucking terribly.
Because I care about their opinion a lot more than yours.
Ask who?
Anyways.
Ask who?
My friends.
Which one? Which one do you want me to ask?
You said your friends, you seem to know.
I'm asking you, which of them do you want me to ask? I know that Total Menace is your friend.
You can ask Total Menace if you'd like.
Cool. Total Menace. What is a single argument that you think that ThoughtBat gave that was valid? Just one. I hear dead silence from Total Menace.
Maybe she's busy.
Maybe she is.
Sorry, no, I'm here.
Total Menace. Your ThoughtBat's friend. There has to be somebody who can reach out and help him to understand he's doing terribly, and I'm hoping that you can do it. So I want to know from you, what is one valid argument you think that he made? Go ahead.
I heard you the first time you said it. Heard you the first time you said it. Don't need to be repeated. He's making you look like the dumb bitch you are.
Spit out the answer to the question.
I've already said he's making you look like the dumb bitch you are.
ThoughtBat. Listen to the answer your friend just gave you.
You didn't want to hear what Pat had to say.
Do you think people should treat you as like a normal human being? Is that what you're saying?
I think you should be treated like a garbage bin retard. I think I should be able to kill you on sight.
You think you should be able to kill me on sight? Let's go, nigga. Bring it up. Bring it up. Let's go. Bring it up.
Oh my god, you're such a tough guy.
Let's go. Damn.
Okay, so I think we're gonna open the room up to questions. Is that open to answering questions? I think some people.
I have questions.
I think I need a wee first. I don't know if I do, but I might go.
Well, ThoughtBat can go piss, and in the meantime, many of ThoughtBat's friends who want to defend him here can hop in and VC up.